So Kira, what's your max deadlift?
I've done 265 kilos for 3.
Yep. Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
And again.
Yep.
Good. Nice and close to the shins. Good.
Well, out of control.
Okay, welcome back to the channel. Here we are at Strong Gym HQ with Kiara. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
And with Mark. All right, he'll be my coach up until August for Admittedly Strongest Man, and hopefully for more strongman comps to come. Today we have deadlifts and more volume. Still in the very early stage of the prep, so no PR attempts yet from me, but not from you. I just heard something wild before we
said it now, so
You gotta commit. Yeah, you gotta commit.
224 kg for 10 reps, which will be the all-time PR, right?
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Mad. So I'm going to work with 180 for 9 sets of 3. So she's going to basically do my whole volume workout in one set.
Yeah.
All right. How things
We're
have
gonna
changed.
try. We're gonna try.
How things have changed.
Kira should be here.
Yes. You know what? It's your channel now. Kiara Wheels, please lead us to the deadlift platform. So yeah, we're gonna get started now. We have not really long workout. Last workout we had some friends in town. It took 4 hours, believe it or not. It just goes to show if you have friends around and you're in the gym and you make conversation, it can end up being so much longer than it has to be. So when you're really focused on getting the work done, I mean, really, realistically, this should be done in like 90 minutes, right?
We'll keep it intense.
Yeah, we'll keep the intensity high, rest period short, most importantly, and we'll get through this.
You can speak for yourself. I'm not like 15 minutes like between one set.
You do one set, I'll do 4.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get started. Let's see it. How many warm-ups?
Yeah, so like, do you do less reps the higher than like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
These days I'm jumping 20 kg percent to the 40 though.
Oh, okay, so bringing it down.
Yeah, taking my time with the warm-ups. Maybe 200 for a lot of sets, 9 sets.
And what's the progress going to be like leading up? So obviously it's a bit up in the air, like, depending on each session, but
It'll basically be a linear build up until we hit sort of frying the CNS system.
yeah.
Then we'll drop a compound. So
Yeah.
for example, we're working 1 inch block, deadlifts, from the deficit and then deadlifts from the floor. So we're going to add in the block on the next set.
Have you done that before?
And then
Oh, okay,
last week.
okay.
Yeah.
so add in the block. So we'll go block, deficit, deadlift, and then as we hit the nervous system, we'll take out an exercise
Yeah, that's brilliant.
as we progress.
Yeah.
And
Hitting it from like all standpoints, then, aren't you? Like, I think people forget with a deadlift, they always say stuff like, "Oh, I've stalled on my deadlift. What can I do?" And they're only doing the deadlift. They're not focusing on their back. They're not focusing on their quads. Like, it takes so much to just actually lift a deadlift. So doing all different kinds of combinations of compounds is brilliant for it. Right, I just taken up like 5 minutes while I
Come on.
It's not slowing down yet. That's a good sign. So, Kiera, what's your max deadlift?
I've done 265 kilos for 3, obviously outside of comp, but I would eventually like to do something quite significantly more. Not this year, but maybe in the coming years.
300 kg.
How impressive would that be? I mean, 265 is already insane. 300 though?
300's there.
Yeah,
You know,
224.
Yeah, 300 I think is there with straps.
Yeah.
Definitely. My grip is definitely my weak point. I'm working it like twice a week right now. Just for today, because obviously I'm going up for a rep max. I'm using straps, but I think next year 300 could definitely be there for.
Not to be devil's advocate, but if you did 300 today, you'd get it.
Oh no!
How do you devil's advocate? I'm just saying.
Scrubbing that out. We haven't said that.
No, but
That's
224.
such a laddie move.
Look, I never urge people to hit PRs. Never, never. I'm always like trying to say, don't please save for another day. Not on the channel.
No, do you know what though? I've already done myself in because it's meant to be 220 for 10, and these are obviously got extra points on them, so it's actually going to be nearer 225 for 10, isn't it?
Yeah, just do this for one.
Great.
Just do it for one.
You shouldn't have told me that. I wouldn't have known. I feel a bit weak today. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, yeah. I live vicariously through you today. Once upon a time, I hit PRs too. Once upon a time, back in the day.
Poor Larry.
My glory days.
Let's go. Power up.
Yep. Nice.
Let's go. Big power up. Nice and fast. Yeah, nice. Good. Big power up.
Good.
Still warming up. Let's go.
Yep.
Easy. Perfect. 3 sets of 8, 1 inch.
Yeah.
3 sets of 8 hip block. 3 sets of 8 from the floor.
Oh, I thought it was just.
No.
Like 3.
Loads of volume. Yeah.
So he's working then.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
working, yeah.
Definitely get some work in.
Then as we progress, we'll cut out a variation, so 1 inch, and then we'll cut the deficit, and then we'll just do the floor. Right, let's go, Larry. Come on, big power up.
That's it.
Repeat every same. The first rep is the same as the first. 1, good. 2, good. Brace, breathe. Good. Power, let's go. Good. Perfect, good. Good, it's perfect.
Yep.
Come on then, let's go. Big power up.
Come on, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Concentrate your breathing, get that rhythm. Dead stop, go. Reset every rep. Come on. Power, 1, 2. Explosive, Larry, come on. 3, 4. I want to see as far. 1, 5. Good. Good.
it's no easier than when I've done 320 for 10. It feels just as hard, which is funny. Not like that I'm weaker, but the cardio.
Right. Yeah.
Because so many reps for deadlift.
Dead stop, go. Dead stop, go. Good. Yeah, nice, good. That's it, that's what we want. Dead. 7, there, good. 8, good. Just let the flexion go in the bar a wee bit more, yeah?
I always find that.
What do you mean by that?
So when you're going through the reps, you're keeping the flexion when you go down rather than letting it go dead because there's so much flexion in this bar.
Aha.
You'll see in my one, when I do it in a second, I'll probably fail it, but from the actual first few reps, I actually fully give in, so I almost reset every time I deadlift. So like, I'll pull it up, pull it down, and then reset and do a deadlift, and in a way it gives you a little bit more time to breathe, but it also means that the bar will actually fully hit the floor, because at the minute you're probably keeping all the tension still, you know, in your shoulders and your arms because it's not fully hitting the ground, which I reckon probably makes it harder.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's treating every rep like the first rep,
Yeah.
rather than keeping that tension on that you're carrying over from the last rep. Go dead, go, dead, go. Just release the tension at the bottom.
But you can do another set before I do my top set, so you can show us.
Yeah. You can demo it. Yeah.
Is it now off the floor?
Yeah, now it's from deficits. Then we go from the floor.
So it's almost like the complete opposite. So it's now going to be a lot harder.
Yeah.
I love deficits. One time I got stronger at deficits than I did off the floor pulls.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really bad.
Well, wait, stronger at deficit?
Yeah.
That's
so
interesting.
I could actually lift more from a deficit. And when I mean a deficit, if you go on my Instagram, it's like a 5-inch deficit then off the floor. Because my quads just got so strong from it.
Yeah.
And then I put it back onto the floor and I almost forgot how to deadlift from such like a higher range. So but you're doing all three, so it's fine.
This is similar to what we use for the 400.
What you
It's
did?
the same, yeah. It's the same.
Yeah, it'll get better if I keep pushing.
Remember, dead stop, go, dead stop, go. Reset every time. I know we're going to make it harder, but we replicate that first rep. You want that 1,000-pound deadlift?
That is true.
Right, come on, let's go. Dead stop power. Let the flexion go in the bar. Let's go, Larry, come on. Nice and close to the shins. Good. Perfect. 4, good. 5, 6, good. 7, good. One more. 8, good. Perfect. Good. Nice. It starts to slow down around the 6th rep, and then the last 2 reps become a grind. The sets after, we're going to cut it back to 6 reps rather than 8. Because what we want to be doing is not grinding out the reps. We want to keep the same speed throughout the sets, the reps, the variations. Make sense? Right, you ready, Kira?
No. I'm ready. I'll tell you now, like if I pee during these deadlifts, it's going to be your most viral video now.
Hey, get us some water.
Yeah.
You just went for a pre
I went
Pee
for
pull.
it. Yeah. Pee pull. Try to say that 3 times. But you just don't know on these other ones. Right. I'm going to regret this, but another reason that I can blame I'm not getting the set.
That's right. Come on.
You got it. I think you need this, to be honest.
Yeah.
My heart will just not beating.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Come on then, let's go. Come on, let's get it.
Let's go.
This is it. Let's go, Kira. Come on.
Come on.
Power. Let's go.
Yup. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Easy. And again.
Yup.
Good. Again. Let's go.
Good
Come on.
Yup.
Good.
Come on.
Attack it.
Yep.
You got it.
Easier. Yep.
This is really good. Come on, let's go. You got it.
Grind.
Kieran.
Yeah. Come
Come
on.
on, let's go. Power. You got it. Take it.
3 more, Kia.
There's more. Come on.
I know you have more.
Let's
This
go.
is the
Let's
day,
go.
Kia.
Finish
This is the
it.
day.
Good.
Yep.
Beautiful. Good.
I'm happy with 8.
That was excellent. Good performance.
That was good.
8.
Those smiling stops, you can just feel the tears running down my face.
It's like it's like a grind too, but you just kept on
Yeah,
going.
you kept going. That's good.
Happy with
That's good.
that.
Solid.
They all look
10.
like grinders.
It's for the next video. And then 300.
No, just a teaser, I guess.
Yeah,
So a good starting point is if you're starting stronger than the previous rep.
exactly.
Because you know you'll end up stronger than the previous as well.
Yeah,
The trajectory is looking really good for you.
thank you. I mean, yeah, I think it'll be, bench is the main one I want to bring up. I'm really hoping to go for the overall world record in my weight class, the junior world record, the squat world record, and the deadlift world record. And then I've had a bit of an iffy shoulder, so it could be there, the bench could be there, but the bench is very good. I think it's like,
How old are you?
I'm 23.
23.
Yeah. Junior capped at 23, so it's like my last year to get junior.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's the world records? The weights?
The world record for this class, I think, is around about 580 total. So right now I could pull about 615 in total. So I really should walk away with the world record. But individually, obviously, there are girls which are stronger at individual points. So for example, like the person who's got squat world record doesn't necessarily have the overall because that bench and that deadlift aren't as good. So I'd like to kind of push myself for those two. And then if I get that, next year I'll go into the 75 class and hopefully get the world records in the 75 class.
But not a junior.
82s and the 90, no, I'll stop that. But no, yeah, it should be all fun and games, so.
I have a suggestion. If you get an implant, that'll reduce your range of motion like this much.
That's why I got them.
Get bigger ones.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Next year you'll see me with even bigger ones. But no, yeah, it does because it only has to touch, doesn't it?
That's right. It doesn't have to go to your sternum.
Bigger you just need to get flexible, so the bigger the arch, triple Fs, you're all done. Bench world
Seriously.
record.
Yeah. Like the power belly is like cheating so man. Same concept.
Yeah.
Push the limits.
That's true. Arm wrestlers don't bench press because it gets in the way of their arm wrestling. So they don't do bench press. Because the big chest, you can't get tight. You want to be in here, right? So they purposely don't do bench press. That's the kind of commitment you need to be the best.
Crazy.
Dead stop, go. Dead stop, go. Big air. Come on. Good. Come on. 2. Nice. Start. 3. 2 more, come on, 7, good, 1 more, power, 8, good.
Really good.
That was fair, you had a bit longer to rest.
Yeah, all the difference.
It's like the second bounce, you can tell it stopped.
Yeah.
Whereas usually you wouldn't allow it to have that second rebound of the bounce.
Yeah,
Really good.
When you're doing reps, you're known for that.
the pounce.
Right, let's go, come on, attack. Air and go. 1,
Yeah.
come on, dig in, let's go. You got it. Second's always better. 2, good.
Good.
Dig in, power. 3, good. 2 more, dig in.
Yup.
Good, last one, come on. Big air and go.
Yeah.
Good, power, perfect, good. Good.
Awesome.
You can see why powerlifters take so long, but you're doing like reps and sets of 8, it's a bit different.
Yes.
Usually, I'm being very stereotypical when I say this, but it's like 2 reps, sit down, have a bag of knickknacks, wait half an hour, go back and do another 2 reps. Like, yeah, it's true.
Even when we had Thor doing his 501 kg deadlift,
Yeah.
he was taking 15 minutes in between his last few lifts, and
Wow.
we timed it and everything.
Wow.
Um,
Well, that's what I mean though. It's like, even with you, Larry, like doing this rep work now, saying it's so much harder. That's the difference between like elite level athletes is they understand like little variations like that. Like to improve on like, you know, deadlift, cut your rest times by a minute, cut your rest times by 2 minutes. Like it doesn't seem like that's gonna actually benefit you. But I mean, if you had 2 or 3 hours to do this, you'd be fine.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it's like just decreasing rest times I always would see as a win whilst doing deadlifts.
But then when you're training for a competition in powerlifting,
Yeah.
the flights so in between each attempt in a flight could be 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, they can.
There could be 10, 15 lifters. You have to wait for everyone to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So it's very sport specific to have 15 or even 20 minutes between each set.
Yeah.
I actually found going at my own pace, which is usually faster than most powerlifters that work against me because I'll go to competition, and I'm ready to go now,
Yeah.
then I'll go 15 minutes after I'm ready, and I'm already
Yeah.
cold, I'm not confident,
100%.
you know, where everyone else is used to training like that.
Yeah.
But to be a better overall athlete, I prefer training like this rather than taking those 20 minute.
A level of
rest
all
days.
of it, probably. Mixture of all of it.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
knowing when and how. Like, if you're doing single reps, then obviously it's going to take a lot more out of you. Like singles, doubles, and then obviously top sets as well. I'm really bad for doing like 3 working top sets. So usually I'll do like 3 sets of 6 or 3 sets of 7 as like my 3 top sets. Whereas I know the most popular thing to do is to work up to a top set and then work back down. But like you say, everyone's so different, so different. You just got to do what works for you. But this is killing me. 2-3 minutes. We're trying to fill the void by talking for like half an hour.
Talking makes you expend more oxygen, so better not to talk, but.
Let's go, like, come on, good. 2, good. Start to power. 6, there we go. 7, good. Yeah, nice, good. Let's go, Peter, come on.
There it is.
Let's get fire up. Dig in, come on.
Yep.
There's 1, come on. Dig in. Nice, good. 2. 3 more, come on, dig in, let's go. Good.
There it is.
Pretty sure that's 5.
5, 6, sorry.
You were like 3 more. I was like, no.
Come on, let's go, fire it up.
Yep. Yep.
Good, there we go. Explode it. Easy way, come on. Good. And again, power. Good. Big power up.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Beautiful. I was gonna rush to leave the house this morning, and I forgot to put deodorant. I was like, wow, look, something stinks in here. I'm like, it's me. I smell so bad.
I'm pretty sure.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure I smell as well.
That was definitely me.
We probably all do. We're just all there like, oh, it's me.
I'm usually good about put deodorant, I put cologne on before I go to the gym. I was in a rush.
We all sail for lunch. Maybe smell.
God, something stinks. Oh.
We all smell. Rep 1's the same as rep 8. Come on, fire it up. Dead stop and go. Come on. Close it. Good. Rep it up. Let's go. Good. Come on. Good. 3 to go. Let's go. Good.
So many years now. When I was preparing for powerlifting competitions, back in 2018, 17, 16, I would do 9 sets of 3 or like 5 sets of 8 with all these different variations. But it's been so many years again. So I haven't done this much volume since. It's not new to me, but it's been a very long time.
This is the foundations of strength, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot of those workouts I wouldn't show. Because days like this, I was like, who wants to see this? This was years ago, I wasn't full-time on YouTube as I am now. So I was only showing my highlights. So I would only show my 100 maxes, my triples, my PRs. But I was doing this. It was more like this stuff I thought was too boring to show.
Yeah.
It's so important though. Like, I'm exactly the same. You'll only see my top sets, my 1 rep maxes, but like the bits that are actually will get you there never get shown.
Yeah.
And people think you just go in every day and just pull a 1 rep max, and then 2 weeks later you just happen to be 20 kilos stronger. You know. So I think everyone will appreciate seeing the progress and journey into it. Like, I think that's become so much more popular these days to actually see behind the scenes. You know.
Yeah.
So I think things like this are great. Like, it actually shows people how hard you're actually working to then get that 1 rep max, you know. And a lot of people just think, they see the 1 rep max and go, oh yeah, that's steroids, that's PEDs, that's all this, but then you show the journey and then they're scratching their heads going, okay, they actually do put in some effort, like, you know, it's not just that, like, no, I think it's wicked that you do all these little videos as well, behind the scenes.
And there's no sweat off my back to show these workouts, especially now that I have such a big audience. Just like we said back then, I thought who would be interested in seeing this stuff.
Yeah.
But even from last week, I was doing 160 last week.
Wow.
It's the exact same workout.
Yeah.
Now we're doing 200.
Yeah.
That's already a 40 kilogram progression
And that's
in
not
1
just
week.
for one either, that's for, what, how many sets?
Well, 9
Eight?
sets in total.
9 sets,
with
yeah.
3 variations.
Yeah, crazy.
You know, I'm sure next week might be a bit. Maybe we're doing this for about a month, I'm assuming, 4 to 6 weeks.
We'll progress this and we'll just see how you adapt. Like, there's no cookie cut. It's just how your body responds, how your recovery is. We'll see how the bar moves. I mean, the biggest thing for me, not necessarily the weight, it's how fast the bar is moving and how consistently it's moving over 8, 6, 4, 2 reps. You know, and as we progress, we'll see how you respond.
For the comp, is it 1 rep or what?
Yeah, it's a max deadlift.
Max
yeah,
deadlift.
From the floor or for the block?
From the floor.
From the floor.
Yeah.
1
Okay.
rep.
Yeah, 1 rep. Yeah. But it's important as well, like, to educate people. Like, I know a lot of people come in and they always go either fully 1 rep max, or they go and they max out on repetitions. Like, I know you did that today. but a lot of people, you did your back off sets, but a lot of people come in and try and lift the heaviest weight possible when really it's not how you get stronger, is it? It's about doing these back offs, doing these volume sets.
That's the thing. In the beginning, you can get away with that though.
Yeah.
So it's like you get in your comfort zone in the beginning. Your first like 2 years of training, you can go in every week and attempt a PR, and you'll get stronger every week. But that beginner, what do you call those new gains, eventually come to a stop.
Yeah.
And then that's where a lot of people get stuck. Like, I'm not getting stronger. I hit a wall. It's been working for so long. That's because you can only do the same thing for so long and expect new results.
And essentially they haven't actually hit that PR in all those sessions before. Because I was exactly the same with that, going in every time, going heavier and heavier. But in actual fact, if I'd have gone for that weight, like 4 weeks before, I would have still got it. But I took it step by step, went up 10 kilo, and like you said, you hit a wall, which is actually just where you plateau originally, where you have to then start putting in more work.
Yes.
So it's exactly that, like having to do different variations. Like, it's not as easy as just doing 3 lifts, 1 variation for 3 lifts, and that's it. Like, people, like, I'm sure you get it so much more, but I'm sure you get it. People say, oh, I'm not progressing on squat, and you say, what are you doing? And they go, squat. That's it. You're like, right, you're just squatting, you're not doing anything else. Like, there's so much other things, like, even things like hack squat, leg press, like, it all comes into it. It's never just as simple, even in powerlifting, it's just squat, bench, and deadlift.
Some people are very stubborn. Like, I'm trying to hit my PR every week. It's just not working. It's not going up because you're trying to do it every week.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, let's do it. Start that time. 5, good. Good, 2 more. 7. Power. 8, good, back. Right, let's go. Attack. 5, good. Let's stop and go. 4, good. Attack it. 5. Lastly, come on. Best 2, let's go. 5. Reps it up. Last one. Nice, good. Relieved? So as you're holding a deadlift bar, same hand width, kind of mixing my words up. That's it. And lean forward, get and then go up. Okay, not worry. Get the stretch, big stretch forward. And then pull from the shoulders. That's it. There we go. Good. Pull from the shoulders. Perfect. Perfect.
Feel those.
Yeah. But it carries over for strongman massively.
Okay.
Like the sandbag pickups on the floor.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, like,
Does he have to do stones as well?
yeah, stones isn't it?
So will you do all the...
Pull your shoulders forward. Like feel that big stretch, yeah, and then pull through that stretch. Don't be scared to push your chest up and through. Crank more tension on your back. That's it. Perfect. Keep them. Yeah, and think about moving these shoulders as much as you can. If you turn side on, you'll be able to see it even better. I'm going to retract these as much as you can.
Like that?
Yeah, and reach forward, emphasise it as much as you can. You're coming in and out of the position, that's it. That's it. Now, if you feel this band loses tension in the middle, bring your hands narrow. So there's more tension in it. It's hard. And just think, don't worry about the band now, just think about pulling your shoulders back, just pulling them back. Go 20 reps.
Got very good rear delts.
Tell me if you feel like
Do you think?
Yeah.
smashing your traps as well.
Yeah,
Ready
right.
to pull the band underneath.
Underneath?
Yeah. Good, relax, you've done. Good, more shoulder movement, Larry. That's better, there, that's better. Into these positions, we're going to get into the log, track the shoulders before the deadlift.
So, was that an all-time PR for you, or did you tire your best?
Tired, just about.
But at the beginning of your prep,
yeah, at the beginning, so it's looking up. I mean,
it's looking really good.
yeah, give me maybe 5-6 weeks and go for something pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, what is it you're going for?
I'm not
Prep.
sure. The thing is, it's going to be how my grip transitions into it. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I could probably get something like 270 for 3 with, my glass grips. Then when it comes to actually lifting at the meet, I'm going to go for 265. I think a nice pull of 265, that will be 10-15 kilo over the world record. So hopefully, yeah.
That would be smashing it, not chipping it.
But but maybe we can like run through all my meets, like lifts beforehand.
Yeah.
Good.
Quick hand measurement? To
Hand
see-
measurement.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Oh my God, look at that.
And you thought you had baby hands. Yeah. These are baby hands.
So
My hands
this
are
is why
actually
my grip sucks.
So, full disclosure, having longer fingers helps immensely with grip-related exercises.
Yeah.
Hence why Khaled is just the best in his class. His fingers are abnormally long and wide. So anything, barbell lifts, or like picking up balls or big dumbbells, he just encompasses everything, gets full coverage. The smaller your hands, unfortunately, the harder time you're gonna have deadlifting. I met some guys that have hands that are bigger than yours,
Yeah.
and they struggle. Their back and legs are strong as an ox,
Yeah.
but their poor little hands. Well, strongman's always an option. You can use straps, you know. Yeah, well,
Everyone's
strongman.
looking at that hand
There's always an alternative. Anyways, guys, that is a wrap. I did have a small progression from last week.
Yeah.
Most notably, not being how much more weight I did, but how much shorter the session was.
Intensity, yeah, and that's it.
Was way up. 90 minutes roughly versus 4 hours, whatever the last workout took. We were here forever. So pace was way higher. 40 kg more than last week. This is that linear progression that Mark's talking about. So we're on the up and up. Still very, very early. And we have your words, 1,000-pound deadlift coming in August. Is that right?
I'm calling it, yeah.
1,000-pound deadlift. That would be absolutely huge PR for me. My best is like 935 Adam.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see about that.
Yeah,
Anyways, we will see you guys very soon. I'm here at Strong Gym HQ 3 days a week, getting my training, preparing for Middle East Strongest Man. Cannot wait. Gareth, thanks for being back on the channel.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll see you very soon when you hit maybe 270 plus on the deadlift. That'll be a sight to see.
awesome, man.
Today it wasn't. Like, you know, when you deadlift, every rep is like a winner max.
Yeah.
Where you just keep on going and going and going. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
entertaining.
You see my first one, and you're like, she hasn't gone all the way.
Yeah, I swear. It's like,
She hasn't gone all the way.
one more, let alone like 7 more. So super impressive. But
Thank you.
that's a wrap, guys. See you on the next one. That's it. Time to rest.